or anything else like that, let me know. Nice and back up and running now.
Alright, man. What's up? Ooh, Priam's here as well. What's up, Gold? What's up, Priam? What's up, Shadow?
That's
What's up,
good.
Carp?
You guys are actually live right about now. But we're gonna mute you guys because we're gonna jump on the
Do
stream.
Warface
Yeah,
weekly.
do
Yeah.
this Warface weekly stream. So we'll be back. Hello, people. We are back. We are back. We are back. Another
Warface
another
weekly
episode.
episode 4.
And what are we talking about this week? Priya, let them know.
Today's main topic is like the history of Warface. So we'll go through the birth of Warface, Warface 3 console, PC versus console, and crossplay in the future. And crossplay's dropping this year.
So it should change things a lot.
Yes, it should. Probably make the game more fun, I guess. Wider audience.
Of course, and then as we talked about last week, it could also make the game more frustrating for console players at least.
Yeah, I don't think PC's part of the, let's say, I think it's just like the 3 consoles, and
Yeah,
PC is part of the plan. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, if we were to add it right now, with all of the different problems within the game,
Yeah, just make using mouse and keyboard like a lot. It would make mouse people who hate mouse and keyboard just more frustrated.
oh yeah, of course, because I mean, like, playing against people with mouse and keyboard with the FPS freezes that's in Warface currently, and
Yeah,
you know the hit rate, mate, it's crazy. So yeah, I
and then
mean,
I feel like Switch players will hate playing against stuff because just
I think Switch players will hate playing against everyone right about now because I don't think they realize kind of how far they are behind in terms of the version of the game that they're playing currently. So
yeah.
so yeah. All right, so right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hold on, a few more seconds. Um, how you been ranking anyway? How you been finding this season?
I'm ranked 14 right now, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not as sweaty this season. I've noticed. There's not a lot of people that have jumped on. I think
People
the
have joined
second,
quite a lot.
yeah, the second day as well. There was quite a few people on, but the first, normally, the first day, everybody jumps on. Like, but yeah, it seemed pretty empty this time around. Right, right. I'm just gonna send this one post out here, and then I suppose we'll get straight stuck into it. Uh, wow. There's so many people you've got to post, and so many places you've got to post. If you're watching, please reshare the link. Please subscribe wherever you're watching to both myself and Priam's channels. Um, and please share the links, man, in any communities that you are in. FPS communities, Warface communities, just regular gaming communities. Get the word out there. I mean, if you play Warface and you want to hear, or you know people that want to hear more about the game, find out more about the game, get updates.
Yeah.
This is the place to be. We are a community channel, and we do think about the community first. So, we do take suggestions from you guys. We're not just here just doing what we want every single week. If you guys want to see us talk about a particular subject or anything that's going on with community, let us know, and we will try to put that into the next available stream slot.
Yeah.
As you guys know, it's every Saturday 7 p.m. GMT. So if you're in Europe, you'll be around 7 p.m. UK 7 p.m. Anywhere else, universal time code.
Europe.
Yeah. So further out Europe and further out from the UK in Europe anyway. You guys will be like an hour behind. I think it is so. So yeah, just share it around, let people know about it. Last week we had some backlash, guys. So viewers, if you do watch on a regular basis, if there is anything that you got to say, just throw it on the channel. You know, we're open to talk about it. We spoke about cheaters last week, and a few people got upset as though we were exposing people. Um, but we're not here to expose anyone. We didn't expose anybody last week. We didn't talk about anybody being exposed. Um,
Or like the different systems in general.
yeah, I mean, it all depends what you class as cheating. I mean, if you know that you're cheating, and you're out and out cheating, and it makes you angry that people are calling you out on it, then maybe you should try not cheating. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
But the thing is that it's so hard to prove if someone's cheating because like it's so stealthy the systems that they use now, like the Cronus map, Cronus
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's so hard to track and it's quite hard to expose someone. The only way you
It
can
is.
expose someone is like if you have solid proof, maybe like video of them using it or talking about like them talking about it. But
Yeah, them showing people how to use it or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, there's not much you can do. Claymore here.
I think the way that it is now, there's just so many bloody people using it. I think the real is you can tell. Obviously, as we said last week on the show, you
There's
can
certain
tell.
traits that you'll see like drop shots, anti-recoil, rapid fire. Like if you know what you've got, then
Yeah, and then other stuff like this with the AK-12. When people have got the silencer on the front of the AK-12 and you can hear it spluttering like it's got a bad cough. Yeah. So starting to become a real problem.
yeah.
A real
I saw you got the golden KS7.
problem. Bro, you know what? I have been clapping with that KS7. It is a very, very, very serious gun, and I'm gonna
That's the
make
first
a.
weapon out of the gold, like first golden weapon, right?
Yeah, bro. First time they gave me a golden weapon, so I'm gonna do a nice celebratory video talking about that shit. So you guys is watching, expect to see that pop up at some point. Yeah, it is a decent gun. I don't want to go too much into it. I'll save it for the video, but it is a decent gun. It is as OP as people say it is. I feel
Its range, I've seen the range, and it's pretty good to be honest.
the only thing that compares with it in range wise is the Marlin. I don't even think
Yeah.
the Uzcon can compare in range.
No. No, the Uzcon has the pros of having like being automatic and having a better fire rate, but range-wise, and like if you can hit your shots, then the Keltec is better.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I would 100% agree with that.
And
Right, so
I
yeah, go on.
opted not to go for boxes. I'm gonna wait for direct sale. I'm not
The
waiting.
rig so. Do you know what a lot of people do? And I think that is something that obviously we're going to be breaking down in the future about kind of like pay to win versus free to play kind of argument. So again, if you're watching, subscribe, because this is the kind of stuff that we talk about. We're gonna have full episodes on this stuff. We will revisit some stuff as well. Clearly, if we have popular episodes, so that's why it's important that you hit the like button. It's important that you subscribe and you watch and that you comment to let us know what you do want to hear about and what you don't want to hear about.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that just because you commented, we're going to make a whole episode based on what
Oh,
you said.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
right. So disclaimer, okay. Don't get in your feelings if you make a comment and we just like kind of not ignore you, but we just don't raise the issue. You know, we need enough people to be talking about some issues for them to be raised. So so yeah, I mean, you guys always, everyone always complains in the community, Priam, yeah, that
Yeah,
nobody listens to them, and
that's true.
yeah, and I think that everybody's got a choice to have their own voice, and everybody's got their own channels. But we have created
Yeah,
this channel to give everybody a direct voice, you know, like in the
yeah,
end of the day, and to hear everybody's arguments and put them forward in a clear and concise way,
yeah,
so that we may get the developers or you know the production staff or anybody else listen. In the end of the day, they wanna see their game do well, and you guys want to play the game in a good condition. So yeah. Um, all right, so I think we'll start then with the first part of the show. And as Priam said earlier, the show this week is about the history of
Warface.
Warface. Yeah, it's the Warface's history. So you know, we just want to talk a little bit about where Warface came from for people that don't know. Whether you're a long time player or you know you've just started playing the game, maybe you know you don't know all of the kind of story behind how the game got to where it is, and yeah, I mean, so as Priam said, first topic of today is the history of Warface. Now
Yeah,
we've spoken to some team. We've also spoken to quite a lot of people in the community. Um, some of you guys, have you played Warface on the PC yet?
I have played a bit, but not a lot.
Okay, well, I downloaded it, bro, so long ago that, and I still haven't even played one game on it yet. However, um,
I'm like level 15 or like level 20, I think. I haven't played a lot.
well, yeah, I don't know, bro. I downloaded it, I set it all up and everything, and then I was like, oh, you know, I can't even remember what I was doing that day, but I left it, and it's been on my PC ever since, and I just, never around to playing it, and then one day I just saw that it was on the console. So, so yeah, that's kind of like my experience of how how I found Warface and how I started playing. But all right,
I just use Warface CE to see what like to test out new weapons, I guess, before they release on PS4.
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people do that as well. I mean, right. So just to give a bit of back history for what we're talking about with the PC and you know Xbox and stuff, Warface has been around for a number of years since around 2012, 2013
Yeah,
on the PC,
yeah,
and from there on, they actually produced a Xbox 360 version of Warface. So that was the original console version of Warface. And it seems that that particular Xbox 360 version was dropped.
yeah.
Yeah, it was dropped. I'm not sure as to why they dropped it. I've been trying to look around and trying to find some information about how they dropped it. Hopefully, that is something that in future interviews we may be able to cover with the team as to why they actually dropped off the Xbox 360 version. I have spoken to a few guys here and there who have said that you know they used to play the 360 version, so it
I
seems to
played
have
the
been
Xbox
quite popular.
360 version like once or twice, so
Okay,
and I think it was more like the console beta, so I see why they dropped it because like graphics wise, it wasn't the best. I don't think the Xbox 360 could have handled it that well.
yeah, I've
But
seen
it was
videos of
nice.
it. Yeah, I've seen videos. Bro.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
nice because you don't see that many. At least there weren't that many free to play games on the older generation consoles.
Oh yeah, no, that is true. So again, at the time when it came out, I'm sure like loads of people would have downloaded it at that time because, as you said, free to play was kind of like non-existent. Let's say at the time when the 360, but that was in 2012. That was a long time ago, bro. It was a very long time ago. now. It's like almost 10 years, 8 years. Yeah. So that's 2012, like when Warface came out, free to play. Again, the free to play model wasn't the biggest thing at the time. Mobile games were probably the biggest models at the time. And then, we have this 360 port that came out, which clearly must have been popular enough because they clearly brought it back to console again later on. So yeah. So 2018, most of you guys that are watching, uh, if you were, an early member on Warface on PlayStation, then you will be playing from around sometime in 2018, as that's when it was first released on the PlayStation 4 and on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And
So I
what
was
we
playing
also,
around like late 2018, early 2019. But I was never
yeah,
really into the game, so I like really got into it around this year a lot.
yeah, and I think a lot of people didn't really know about the game because, I mean, I've told lots of people about the game around 2018, and lots of people didn't really know. People are just starting to learn about it. I think because of Breakout. I had a few people message me after Breakout come out and say, "Oh, is this the game that you're talking about?" kind of thing, and I'm like, "No, this is not the same one." So, well, it's the same franchise, but not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah. I feel like
Uh,
because of Breakout's more well known because they've done like the marketing better through sponsorship.
yeah, there's a lot of marketing that's happened. Clearly, a lot of people have picked up on the fact that they've done a lot more with content creators this time around.
Yeah,
Um,
because Spotify had a video on it, so
yeah, yeah. So I think that's what kind of changed the game with this particular time round. So and it has really, really, really like changed the game for them because everybody seems to know about Breakout. Everybody knows about it.
yeah. But not that many people know about OG Warface, which yeah,
Yeah, not a lot of people do. Not a lot of people do. That's true. So 2018, and we move on to obviously 2020. We've got this Nintendo Switch version also out now, and that's obviously popped off real big because quite a lot of people on the Wii didn't have any. The Wii didn't have any. Let's just say this, right? If anybody has a Wii U out there, please drop it in the comments. Yeah, if you had an original Wii, drop it in the comments because the Wii had Call of Duty. That was it. Like a few versions of Call of Duty with the wackest graphics I've ever seen on Call of Duty, but the Wii had zero free to play or zero first person shooters full stop, let's say.
I remember.
And yeah, go on.
I think it was it. I think Nintendo DS had Black Ops, like the original Black Ops.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember playing that. Like, I mean, it was not good. Like by today's standards, it was probably like the worst game I like first person shooter game I played. But it was good at the time.
Black Ops, man. First Black Ops, man. Used to love that. Used to love that game. So Crytek are the people who, as we've all wondrously seen at the beginning of every time we turn on the game, Crytek are the people who were the original development team and people behind the original Warface. Crytek themselves are responsible for games such as Crisis 1, 2, and 3, and the early versions, the first original versions of Far Cry. So they are a major games developer. They have had, yeah, they do have some real skin in the game. And Crisis was actually a game that I used to play quite a bit. I didn't think it was the best game in the world, but it was a decent first-person shooter. And if you like futuristic first-person shooters, especially, then Crisis is a dope game to be
Yeah, 'cause I
playing.
think less of it it led to some memes, like can it run like the Can It Run Crisis meme. So that's what it's like really famous for. So
But yeah, so the fact that they were able to kind of come out, as you said before, with a free-to-play shooter that everybody, you know, kind of like reveres to a certain extent after Far Cry and um, after what's his name, Crisis. Yeah, I think it, at the time maybe would have really boosted the profile, but clearly we could see that something happened where there was some kind of breakdown with the team, and the original team did split. I believe this is Crytek Kiev. I think this is
yeah,
the original
I
team.
remember there was
So
like a split.
yeah. So so the game originally was on a beta through Mail.ru, and if you don't know who Mail.ru is, that is the company that actually owns my.com. So Mail.ru are like, you know, the guys with the say so to speak,
Yeah,
when it comes to Warface and a lot of popular Russian games as well. So it's not just Warface; they do have their own games platform, Mail.ru, and as we know, my.com is responsible for, I think it's World of Tanks as well. I think Skyforge is also a my.com game. So yeah, so I mean, early on we've got Crytek's involvement, and then in 2019, or let's say from 2018 to 2019, we don't see much updates, and I would put that down to probably the fact that in 2019 the team was split, and a new team was formed called Blackwood Games. Blackwood Games are the people who have taken over and are responsible for bringing us the wonderful Warface we see today and Warface Breakout. So I think for people trying to understand what these guys have been doing or why it takes so long to do updates and so on and so forth is simply because these guys have been clearly doing a lot, and a lot has been going on in the, you know, in the background for them with regards to both series. And there is if you go to the PC Warface site, there is an actual full scale announcement that the lead developer made with regards to Crytek Studio splitting and becoming Blackwood Games. So if you want to read a little bit more about that, I'd advise you to go and check that out. Just look on the PC Warface site and look through the announcements, and you will see the announcement for when Blackwood Games took over. So yeah, I mean, there's clearly like, for people that kind of feel that Breakout came out yesterday, there's a long history, and then for people that, you know, didn't know so much of the history of Warface, now you kind of know how we've come to have Warface where it is today, in the state that it is today also.
it's also important to note that I think Warface PC and Warface console are published by different publishers.
100%. Do you want to elaborate a bit more on that? Break that down, who the different publishers are, or?
So I think that's one of the main reasons why they haven't necessarily. Well, we're gonna come on to this after, but I think that's one of the main reasons why they haven't included Warface PC into crossplay, because I think, yeah, 'cause at the moment PC is like a good 6 months, 8 months ahead of console in terms of content. So that's probably why they haven't included it yet. It's like the crossplay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, having a having different publishers also between the, let's say, PC and console versions clearly, I wouldn't say makes it difficult, but it clearly makes it not as easy or as black and white you know, as whatever is on the PC, put it on the console, you know,
Yeah.
or whatever's
There
on the
has to be
PC works
there has to be
necessarily on the console.
optimization going into like bringing new content into at least the console.
Yeah, yeah. There has to be a lot that gets done in the end of the day.
Yeah.
One sec. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, moving on from that, uh, one of the things that is obviously a big thing in the community, as we just mentioned, is the disparity of time scale or timeline, shall we say, between Warface on the PC and also Warface on the console.
Yeah.
You know, so as we've seen previously, there is a major disparity there between the two of them. Warface PC seems to be about 5 updates
Definitely.
ahead of every console.
Yeah, they have crafting and they're getting the new weapons a lot quicker than what we're like. We haven't even got to crafting yet, and they've had crafting in for like a good 6 months or something like that.
I don't think it's been that long. It's probably been about two maybe. I think since they've had
I don't
crafting
know.
because
The lockdown, it probably under lockdown, it feels a lot longer.
yeah.
I just want crafting to come out on console because it's gonna bring like a lot, like it's gonna be more new weapons. I know that
Yeah.
I think the AK Alpha can be craftable that has better hit actually than a Marlin, which is shocking.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, all right. So for Switch players, let's break this down. For Switch players, you guys are at least 1 whole year behind where the PlayStation is.
Yeah. Something like that.
And because we're talking about the history, I have to say that historically, you shouldn't be expecting any updates really anytime soon, or to catch up with that year anytime soon.
Yeah, but then that's why I find confusing because it said that Switch is gonna get crossplay with um, PS4 and Xbox. So does that mean that like it's just gonna be confusing because they don't have all the content that they don't have I don't I think yeah they don't have all the guns, so I don't know, will they be killed by guns that they've never seen? It's just gonna be confusing. There's quite a few questions that have to be answered by the developers.
Yeah, of course. So, bro, I just clapped this dude in the bomb.
Honey Badger. Let me teabag this guy. So he teabagged me to get around the fort. Okay. Never mind. He got slapped by a golden snake. Oh.
Bro, I'm hardly concentrating. Like I can't. This is why sometimes I get fed up with Breakout because it's so bloody easy. So if I had a if we had a full squad on Breakout, it would just be crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You see why guys were able to like just run through it so quickly. 'Cause a lot of guys have like ranked up really quickly in Breakout. Oh my god, the guy shot me in my back. All because my team don't know what the hell they're doing. Anyway, so yeah, so Switch guys, whole year behind. Xbox, all right, no, PS4 guys first. Yeah, we are probably around 6 months to maybe 9 months, I'd say, behind the PC. Yeah, maybe to up to a year as well. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think previously that gap would have been bigger up until this year, but this year has seen quite a few updates back to back. As far as Xbox users go, I don't know why, because you guys, obviously the PC version was, it works. So I don't see why when you guys have got like the same operating systems or similar operating system operating on an Xbox, why it can't be easily ported to the Xbox and have less problems. When I seem to speak to Xbox people, they have way more problems on the Xbox than on PS4. Right. So, so I don't know if that's something that the developers need to address or if it's just some bad feelings that are floating around in the community because people feel as though it's not the way that they want it to be or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What's this guy's rank? Oh come on, he just shot my claymore. I hate it when teammates shoot their own teammates claymore.
Oh my god, look, I lagged through the floor. That's the second time this has happened on Breakout. Yesterday the same thing happened, I lagged through the floor. I'm glad I'm on the stream so people can see it. Well, yesterday was the worst. I lagged through the floor and then got shot. I actually had to drop on the guy, but I lagged through the floor and then he shot me.
Wow. And like PC also has its own like problems. I know I've heard from PC players that in certain part of the mod match you're using I think part of the one glitch to go under the map and shoot from there or plant so no one can get it. So sounds like PC sounds very good as well. At least OG Warface wise. Ooh, Golden M14 Brave Wars.
Oh, he collapsed me. He got the drop on me. I don't know how the fuck he got a drop on me. That was pretty quick, but yeah, he collapsed me.
Okay, we have Golden AM17 AFK. Golden NX Storm AFK. He's somehow first on our team. Also, team balance needs to be fixed because I'm going up against 2 or 3 samurais on the enemy team, and my highest ranked player is rank 45. So that's one thing they have to focus on because team balancing in this game.
Yeah, team balancing is really bad still.
One way they could fix it is by changing up the servers. So you'd make professional servers maybe rank 1 to rank 50, and then you'd make a rookie servers rank 1 to 25, then have an intermediate servers in rank 25 to 60, and then professional servers from 60 to 90. So gap from 25 to 90 is some days. Especially if you're not using pay-to-win weapons. The amount of golden take I'm seeing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sig everywhere, bro. I team killed the guy. What an idiot. He team killed him. That's a prick move. He team killed him just to defuse the bomb. See guys, that's not how you play the game.
I can just imagine if OG Warface had that.
But if OG Warface had that, no one would ever play. It would just be people just clapping each other at the beginning all the time like it was on this. Literally.
Yeah, it's the same with hard PvE for random. I only do it with a full team. Because they shoot people for fun. Let's reload. Get a slide kill maybe. See this guy. Quick back to easy. Only camping in the corner. No. I shot by mistake. Got this guy. Behind me there's a Sig MP.
Oh, there's a guy.
Not surprising Sig MP. So how many boxes do you think you get the
Oh shit, the dude's behind me. How many boxes to get the Keltec? I spent about 270 credits, 250, 270, something like that.
Wow. We had a gold one. It's pretty nice.
Bro, as I said, it's the first one, bro. Like, do you know how much credits had to be relieved of me from me since before this, bro? It's crazy.
But it's a nice gold weapon you got. Oh, don't. Ew.
What they need to do now is me another 5 so that they bunch up the probability from all of the ones that I've already bought.
I really want the AM17s. They look so nice. So, ooh, ooh. 1 minute, guys.
Let battle commence.
Nade was. Ooh, wow. I actually got a nade kill. Wow. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. 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 Come on.
Let battle commence.
Yeah. Yeah. No resources. I don't know if I'd like. I'm happy they're not bringing PC crossplay to console because there's already so many people using mouse and keyboard on
Importance on this battle.
console itself. You know, I can't imagine what's happening if they add in like more mouse and keyboard players.
Let battle commence.
someone takes it, I'll take it. They're just trying to increase the value. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. PM. Well, next week should hopefully be quite special. Hopefully. Keep your fingers crossed. Oh, come on, golden sword. Right, on to the next one.